Now we are discussing about connectivity of systems using transmission control protocol. We have two systems. One system we are calling with the name server. Second system we are calling with the name client. So we have only two systems, client and server. We want to establish the communication between the client and server. And we also want to establish the communication server with the client. So this communication we are expecting a full duplex communication. Simultaneously, client should be able to communicate with the server and the server should be able to communicate with the client. For establishing this connection, we use some control packets in 3 steps. So to establish this full duplex communication between the server and the client, we are taking 3 steps. So these 3 steps are called as three-way handshake. Because these 3 steps are occurring between the server and the client, we are calling this as three-way handshake. To establish the full duplex communication, 3 steps in the handshaking mode required. Okay. So first we are saying about some control packets. One control packet is synchronize. Second control packet is acknowledgement. Synchronize and acknowledgement. And final. In these 3 steps, in first step we are using synchronize. Second step we are using synchronize acknowledgement. In the third step we are using acknowledgement. Now we will try to understand. I will explain this concept by using the 2 schematic diagrams. In the first schematic diagram, this host X is the client. Now when the client wants to establish the communication with the server, first it is step 1, it is sending the synchronization message. Synchronization message we are sending to establish the connection. In this synchronization, we will send the sequence number. Now, this client is sending the sequence number. My sequence number is 4321. This data should be sent in the form of the packets. So the synchronization number is 4321. After receiving, the server will acknowledge it saying that, okay client, I have received the initial sequence number of your data, that is 4321. I am expecting the next packet with the sequence number 4322. So it will give the acknowledgement. Along with the acknowledgement, it will also send its initial sequence number. What is its initial sequence number? 5501. So it is sending its 5501 in the synchronization message. Both these are sending in the form of the packets. So second step is completed. In the third step, after receiving, this client will acknowledge saying that, okay server, I have received your initial sequence number 5501. Whenever you send data, next packet should start with 5502. This is the third step. In the first step, the client is sending its sequence number. In the second step, the server is sending, I have received your sequence number. I am expecting next sequence number as this. This is what we are calling as acknowledgement. And along with this acknowledgement, client also sends its sequence number 5501. Now, after receiving its sequence number, it will send the acknowledgement saying that I will expect the next packet from 5502. These are these three steps. That's why it is called as three-way handshake. By using this schematic diagram also we will explain the same concept in a little different way. The story is same, but screenplay varies. Now here we are sending first synchronization message. So synchronization flag is set to 1. We are not sending any acknowledgement. That's why acknowledgement flag is set to 0. What is the synchronization sequence number you are sending? 2000. Its initial sequence number is 2000. Now in second message, whenever I am saying message, it should be in the form of the packets. It is sending, I have received your initial sequence number, acknowledgement number 2001. I am expecting next packet with the sequence number 2001. Now, acknowledgement is set to 1 because this is acknowledgement. Synchronization is also set to 1 because this time it is sending its initial sequence number 5000. So it is sending both synchronization and acknowledgement messages. And in the third step, there is no requirement of the synchronization message. Synchronization bit is set to 0. And the acknowledgement bit is set to 1 because it is sending the acknowledgement. I have received your initial sequence number 5000. I am expecting the next packet should start with 5001. Now the communication is established between the server and the client. They can communicate in both ways. Server can send the data to client and client can send the data to server. This is a full duplex communication. They have exchanged their sequence numbers. Now you may get the doubt. What is this sequence number? Why we require this sequence number? We have already discussed, but for your purpose we are discussing again. Whenever we are sending data from a device, some W, here some Z. This is device W, this is Z. Whenever we are sending information through the internet, this information will go in the form of the packets. This packet will have source address and destination address and sequence number. Because these packets will not go in the same direction. These packets will go in different directions. This is packet 1, this is packet 2, this is packet 10, packet 9, packet 8. Packet 10 may reach first because it is traveling in the shortest path, maybe. But we are expecting packet 1 to reach first. Now this packet will wait until the packet 1 will reach. In order to know what is the packet number, we are using the sequence. That is what we are calling as sequence number. Without the sequence number, order of the packets we cannot able to find. So the sequence number is very much important to find the order of the packets. Sequence number is very much important in our internet. So that's why TCP/IP protocol here we are giving very much importance with establishing sending the sequence number of the server, sending the sequence number of the client before the establishment of communication. That is must. Before the communication only it should be done. Okay, this is the requirement of the sequence number. So that is how we will use these control packets before establishing the communication. In first step, synchronization message. In second step, synchronization acknowledgement. In third step, acknowledgement. In first step, we are sending the client sequence number. In second step, the server acknowledges it and sends its sequence number. In third step, the client acknowledges it. That's all. This is the three-way handshake process. To establish the communication between any two systems in the entire world by using internet, we require this three-way handshake process when we are using TCP/IP protocol.